Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thought for Thursday, which is a portion of what we do over on Leveling Up the Podcast with Alethea Tucker. I'm thrilled to be here with you. And I already gave us a bit of a teaser on what it is that we're going to be discussing. And it boils down to this: how is it that you are unleashing your potential? Or why is it, maybe this is a better question, why is it that you are not unleashing your potential? Very important question for you to ponder. Well, we're going to talk about that just a bit. And we're going to talk specifically more about what it means. What am I talking about when I say, why aren't you unleashing your potential? What does something like that look like for you? This is something that is incredibly close to my heart. The importance of personal and professional development is something that I work with on a daily basis in coaching, in speaking, in teaching, all of it, in doing anything that involves HR and doing anything that involves marketing or training. All of that involves reaching potential and making sure that you are bringing out the absolute best of someone in someone, whatever that whatever the particular subject may be, whatever it is that you're working on. And as a coach who works with women, I've seen firsthand how transformative it can be when we identify and change the mindsets that have really kind of been holding us back from reaching that potential. And it's a journey that not only helps us to find our purpose, of course, when we look at things like that, but it also empowers us to pursue the life that we truly desire to live, the life that we truly desire to have. So a lot of it involves vulnerability and looking at limiting beliefs and self compassion and setting your intentional goals. All of these things really are involved in helping you to unleash your potential and helping you to define even what your potential is. Many of us don't truly know what we're capable of because we haven't been knowledgeable, or we haven't been exposed to the opportunities that will allow us to display our potential, perhaps. Or let's not forget those mindsets that I always talk about, those mindsets that hold us back from pursuing what we're really capable of doing, for identifying what we can do based on skills that we have, based on gifts that we have, based on passions that we have, all things that are truly a part of unleashing your potential, identifying that potential. So I want you to think about that tonight. I want you to think about that when you decide or when you're looking at how it is that you need to develop. Sit down, take a thorough inventory of what it is that you love, what it is that you're passionate about, what it is that you truly feel that you are capable of doing, what is it that you want to do. These are all things that I've talked to us about before, because all of them are definitely intricate pieces of reinventing, aren't they? They're all a part of what you need to do when you're looking at that entire process. But as promised, on Thought for Thursday, we bring you the concepts that you talk about, the pain points that you deal with, and we give you 5 things to look at. And before you leave, we make sure to tell you how it is that you can approach addressing the problem, or addressing the question, addressing whatever it is that we bring before you in our episode. So, what are some things that you can do? What are some things that you want to focus on when you're talking about unleashing your potential? What are the things that are going to help you to be able to dig down and unleash what you're truly capable of? Well, one of the first things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to challenge your comfort zone. We talk about that. I talked about that even probably just last week, how comfortable it is. I always give the comparison of it being like a comfy chair on a cold day in front of a fireplace with a blanket. That comfort zone is just that, it's comforting. It puts us in a happy space, puts us in a calm space. It's something that we can definitely get accustomed to. And sometimes it's good for us, but many times when we get stuck in a comfort zone, we really don't grow because we're at a place where we're frequently at that mediocrity mode. We're frequently at that place where things are just fine. We're doing okay. We don't see a need to rock the boat. Why pursue anything different? Well, pursue it because you're not reaching that potential. Push yourself to take on new challenges. That's one way in which you can come out of your comfort zone, right? Embrace opportunities that are going to make you feel maybe just a little uncomfortable. Yeah, that's what happens when you go outside of that zone, but embrace them. Know that even in being uncomfortable, you're learning, you're growing, and you come out the other side knowing exactly, or at least having a better idea of what it is that makes you tick in a certain area, what it is that you're able to do above and beyond what you're doing right now in that comfortable space. What else can we do to help to unleash our potential? Well, make sure that you're looking at your vision, that it's written out and it's written plain. Make sure, in order, of course, to do that, you have to have one developed. So write it out like I just said. Make sure that you understand in your head and in your heart what it is that that vision should look like. You're going to have to really, really sometimes even dig deep to get clear. It may require research, it may require consulting with others, it may require actually getting in a place where you can experience some of the things that you believe you really want to include in your vision for what you want out of life, for your vision, what you want out of your career. Get in a space where you can test drive some of those things and see if indeed it matches what you are seeing is going to be, or what you see happening as a result of keeping this as a part of your vision. Spend time reflecting on those long term goals. Make sure you have them set. That's a part of the vision, right? Short term and your long term goals. Know what it is that you need to do in order to succeed. Find out. Do the research behind that. Do whatever is needed to ensure that you are in the best place possible to achieve the vision that you desire, whatever that may be, whether it is research, whether it is actually talking to someone else who has fulfilled a vision that's similar to yours. Make sure that you set yourself up to succeed. And we've talked about the definition of successful before. And it doesn't always mean that you come right out of the gate uh, getting the goal that you envisioned from the beginning. It may mean a few stumbling factors in order to get there. But the point is, you are equipping yourself the best way possible to know what it is that you need to know and to understand clearly if this vision is truly what you want. What else? We were just talking about those limiting beliefs. And I tell you, in the coaching space, it is the place that we do most work. It is the place where there are the strongest of strongholds, the strongest of barriers, because those limiting beliefs and that inner dialogue, that if it's not mastered appropriately, if it's not positive and if it's not positive and it's negative, it's a place that you definitely sometimes have to dig deep because the roots were established long ago. So it's where we often do the work, because it's that headspace that, of course, is going to feed to the heart. But the heart knows the direction in which you should go. But that headspace will mess it up every time. So you have to make sure that you are challenging that inner dialogue and you're mastering it. Things we've talked about in the past include confronting those negative thoughts that are there with the positive things, combating them, going toe to toe, basically making sure that what you are thinking is lining up with your heart and truly lining up with what you are desiring to do, what you're capable of doing. And by mastering that self talk, you can begin to build the confidence wherever confidence may be lacking. You can begin to build that. You can begin to build that demeanor that's needed for what you want, the resilience that's needed so that you can reach your highest potential, because that's what we're working to do, reach our highest potential. What else do you need to do? You need to embrace failure as a learning tool. Yeah, we've talked about this before, but it is one of 5 things that you definitely need to do in order to reach your potential. Because in reaching your potential, you may be going through trial and error until you get it right, until you truly understand. It's through those experiences that we really refine what it is that we know. We really fine tune, dig deep, and perfect what it is that we know we have the potential of doing, or finding out what it is that we believe we have the potential to do. So if we fail in the process, you have to look at it as a stepping tool, as a step up and not a step down, as a step in the right direction and not a step to defeat. You have to look at it in the way that it is going to help you better to achieve what it is that you want, better to help you to be better at what it is that you do, how it is that you interact with others, and what you do on your job, and what you do in your business. See failure as a stepping tool and definitely as a place of learning. What else? You have to, and this is our 5th tool tip, and definitely by no means is it the least important one. You must prioritize your self-care and your well-being. Yeah, something that we've talked about before as well. If you are not in a good space, in a good place physically or mentally, then you really are not in a field where, or in a place where you're really able to assess what you're capable of. It's as though you're out on a cloudy day. You know the destination. You know that you've been there before, perhaps. You know that you have the potential to get there quicker, but you just, for the life of you, cannot maneuver to get to that quicker route because it's so foggy. That's what it's like when you are not in the best shape that you can possibly be in, mentally and or physically. You really don't have a clear path, a clear vision, a clear thoughts on how it is you can ascertain or determine exactly what you are capable of doing. So it's important to make sure that you take the time needed to rest, that you eat properly, that you exercise, that you spend time with loved ones, that you spend time doing the things that you desire and enjoy doing, that you take the mental, the physical, the emotional break when that is needed. Frequently, we feel that there is a trophy associated with driving, 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 driving. But how do you feel if you're driving, 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 and you never get where you desire to be, or you never reach a destination? Surely you get tired of that driving and you figure, what is the purpose? Well, that's the same thing that we're talking about here in reaching your potential. What purpose is there in continuing to drive yourself ragged? All right. Continuing to drive yourself until you can no longer feel what it is or see your way, much less no longer see the vision, much less feel it. It no longer becomes something that you can actually sink your teeth in because you're driving so hard and you're not clear on how it is that you think or feel. It's important to make sure that you prioritize your self-care. So, as we wrap this up, Thank you so much. I see we have Mary over here watching, and I greatly appreciate that. I really do. And I hope that this is this has been helpful to a number of you, either as you watch it now or as you catch it over on YouTube, because all of our episodes are on there. And you'll be able to catch not just this episode, but episodes from the past airings as well. So quickly, what do you need to do to reach your potential? You need to make sure that you're challenging your comfort zone. Do things outside of it. Make sure that you've got that vision clearly depicted, clearly written out, so that you'll know what it is that you're trying to do, that you'll know what it is that you're trying to achieve, so that you'll know the potential you have for doing that. Make sure that you master that inner dialogue. It is the worst thing. It can be, if it's negative, it can be the worst, deterrence to being able to getting through to what you're truly capable of doing. What else? You want to make sure that you are embracing failure as your learning tool, not as a step backwards, but as a step in strengthening and getting to where you need to do. And then the final thing you want to do is make sure that you are in the best shape you can possibly be in, mentally, physically, and emotionally. All right. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening in. Remember, you have great potential. You need to realize what that is. Master your potential. Don't squash it. Bring it out. Do the things that are necessary, that are going to help you to identify what you have to offer, and then offer it out because it's needed. I always talk about how you are uniquely designed and made, and you have a thumbprint that is just yours and it's needed. Your mastery of skills and your mastery of problem solving that some others may not be able to do is needed. Go out and touch something. Go out and make a difference, not just for yourself, but of course for the world. Your touch is needed. Go ahead and unleash your potential. Don't hold it back. Find out what it is and then go operate in it. Thanks so much for listening.